When Eddie Sutton returned to Oklahoma State as head basketball coach in 1990, Cowboy basketball and Big 8 basketball would never be the same. The man from Buckland, Kansas had already taken 3 different programs to the NCAA tournament, and when he led the Cowboys there, he became the only coach in history to do that with 4 programs. The fact that Oklahoma State's his alma mater made it even sweeter. He's a coaching legend. He has won 570 games in his career, 140 of those at Oklahoma State. He led the Cowboys to 5 NCAA tournament appearances, including that great run in 1995 to the Final Four in Seattle.
I remember when I went back to school before Mr. Ivan died, and we talked about someday maybe getting Oklahoma State back to Final Four, and I know he's looking down right now, and he'd be very proud of this group of young men.
He's had great players performing for him, but it's no coincidence that programs drastically improve when Eddie Sutton arrives. When the Cowboys advanced to the Final Four in that 1994-95 season, it was the high watermark of OSU basketball in the last 4 decades. Gallagher-Iba Arena is sold out for every game these days, and who would have believed that just a few years ago? Then again, that's what happens when you have only 1 losing season in 26 years as a head coach. And listen to this, in those 26 years of coaching, his teams have won at least 20 games a year, 17 times. Phenomenal. Eddie Sutton has been the National Coach of the Year 4 times in his brilliant career. 6 times he's been the Conference Coach of the Year. He's come full circle from a player on that 1958 NCAA tournament team at Oklahoma State to one of just a handful of truly great coaches. And by the way, Coach, one of your jogging buddies sends along this message.
I'm delighted to be able to participate as you honor one of the finest basketball coaches in history, inducting Eddie Sutton into the Sports Hall of Fame in Oklahoma. I've known Eddie and Patsy since I lived in Northwest Arkansas as a law professor and then became Attorney General and Governor in the 1970s when he was coaching at Arkansas. And I can tell you that, among other things, they're wonderful people and great friends. It's a great thing that Eddie Sutton has won 570 basketball games, that he's been Coach of the Year 4 times, that he's the only coach to take 4 different teams to the NCAA, that Oklahoma State's averaged 23 wins a season since he's been there and been to the NCAA 5 times, the Sweet 16 3 times, and the Final Four once. And his performance at Arkansas was nearly that impressive. But the greatest thing to me is that Eddie Sutton is a really good man with good values, who cares about the young people he's coached, gets involved in them and wants them to do well in their lives, whether they go on to pro basketball or just go on to be good citizens. He and Patsy have been wonderful friends to Hillary and to me. I've enjoyed watching their own children grow up, and I've treasured the fact that through all the years, he's always been my friend. It's nice that he has a friend who's president now, but I remember when he had a friend who was the youngest former governor in American history with no political prospects. He was still my friend. That's the kind of person that Eddie Sutton is. That's the kind of person who deserves to be in your Hall of Fame. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Patsy. God bless you both.